you to not watch the NFL. Um, let's take some things here, so that the people could grasp or understand what we're talking about or doing right now. Um, the world is an expensive place. The world is filled of people's emotions, their thoughts, their details, what they deem is important, supersedes anything that anybody else in the world thinks about, and no one cares. No one cares about anything other than. Now, with that being said, this is one where you all get a vote here. You all get a decision to make. I'm going to tell you the story, and then you guys get to decide on a factor. I know Aaron Rodgers is my starting quarterback, and all I needed him to get was a lousy 11 points, and I win. And now I got to depend on the damn kicker. I had this whole thing won by a mile. Easiest thing ever. My quarterback going tonight. I'm going up against HD in fantasy football. I'm like, hey, this is easy. We got this. Then I turn around and what do you know? We don't have this. So that was that. Well, Rodgers needs to come back. He needs to get tough. Get back in the game. Get me some points. Yeah, I know. I still have meltdowns, but that's only when I'm watching it go down. Now I don't have these meltdowns as much because I'm done being you got to wait till the NBA starts for that. Now, here's the thing. Now I'm going to tell you the story, and then you guys get to make a decision. Right? So, here's the story. Two brothers. Close. Thick as thieves. They have two other brothers, but these two brothers, and this is a true story. These two brothers are united. They're the closest ones to each other. Closest by age. Whole nine. So these brothers, they get married a year apart from each other. And while the other brother screws up, the other brother who's younger always cleans up his mess. And they were close, and that's how they rode. He was like, that's my brother. Now, his other two brothers, they normally didn't really deal with him, or, those two were just thick as thieves because they were closest by age. Now, when we're going away from we go from them getting both married about a year apart from each other or the same year, or I think it was like a year. They had their two weddings. They only spread them out, so they didn't want everybody spending all the money and then not having any money left for this. Now, going into this factor, you had a lot going on. with these two. Uh, the, the one brother who was older had kids. He's got 3 girls. The other brother, he hadn't had any kids. Him and his wife giving themselves basically to the family business. So now they got a family business that's going on that's bringing a whole bunch of revenue. And the youngest brother, the one that keeps looking up to his big brother who screws up all the time, is doing well. They have the family get-togethers, and it's not the other 2 brothers. It's just these 2 brothers that's close by age. Their families all hang out together, take trips, the whole nine. Now remember, because I want your opinion on this, and I want to know what would you do in these situations. Now, his other brother decides he's going to run for mayor of the town. He's like, I'm going to take a stance because I'm popular. Everybody loves him. He's a great time. He knows everybody in the community. He wants to run for mayor of this town. And his younger brother, man, he helped him out with the campaign. He went around to all the automobile shops and everything. And they're preparing food and clothing and education things. He's speaking to the kids. Next thing you know, he wins. Wins the election. Your youngest brother's the happiest one. They're the thickest thieves. They take a trip. They celebrate. Everybody's family. His wife, their wife. They all know each other, best of friends. This is just going wonderful, right? Now, once mayor, came with a lot of different changes he saw in his brother. The youngest brother started to notice that his brother that became mayor is very different. He never saw this side of his brother before. But this is who his brother really was. His brother was no goddamn good. His brother was sleeping with damn near everybody in the town. People's wives, girls who was waitresses in certain situations, and would have terrible outbursts of anger when he didn't get his way. So, inside the family business, they have this big, gigantic, family-owned restaurant. And upstairs is like got rooms and stuff upstairs, where in case somebody's there, one of the family members, they could actually go and rest upstairs. They got a TV up there, a lounge, and you get to watch TV. You get to watch everything, security cameras, all of it, all from upstairs. You get to control all of it, right? Now, what is the biggest dilemma in the world that you think you would find out? The youngest brother goes upstairs to the room because he's been working in the family business. He opens the door, and there is his brother, pans down, getting a blowjob from one girl who's supposed to be working downstairs. She's upstairs. Giving a blowjob. To the mayor. Mayor of the town. And she hopped up on drugs, and the younger brother hasn't seen his brother do it, but looking at his brother, he's seen that his brother is a little whacked out of his mind on drugs. So now he's angry. Oh, he's super angry. Now, because he's super angry, he tells his brother, I don't want you in here anymore. How dare you do this to our family, your wife, things of this nature, right? So he says, look, bro, baby bro, you don't know what's going on in my life. Just, stay out of it. Okay? Let me blow off some steam. It's like you're the mayor of the town. If this gets out, you're ruined. Now, to behest any of this, the younger brother's conflicted. Because he doesn't want his brother to get fired, lose his position of being a mayor, but he feels he has an obligation to tell his brother's wife because they are family. The wife has been part of the family for years, their children, they're all family. So he thinks that him hiding this from her is a betrayal of her, and that even though this is his brother, he should tell his wife. So now that you know all the information you know, I'm leaving it to you. What would you do in this situation? Do you tell the wife, tell your brother's wife what's going on? Do you B, stay the hell out of it and just let whatever happens happen? Or another option, you create it. So let's see what y'all got to say. Then I'll tell you what happened. Don the writer says, tell the wife, expose the brother, tell the wife. All right. Ramos says, stay out of it. Thank you. I love my home too. I like my house too. Uh, I don't know. No. Will said, Simps in the chat, your wife's brother or sister wouldn't tell you if your wife was cheating on you. He said, if you tell the wife, you're going to be the enemy forever. Most likely she already knows, but yeah, stay out of it. Hell no, not my business to tell. Stay out of it. So, okay, we getting a lot of people saying stay out of this. We getting a lot of people to say stay out of it. All right. Time to tell you what happened. So, the younger brother decided, I'm going to stay out of it. I'm not going to tell on my big brother because he's the mayor and he could lose his job. I don't want to cause any rifts. Then they go to a family event and he looks at his brother's wife, who is like his sister. And she hugs him and she looks at him and she just looks miserable. And he takes her by the hand and says, my brother's cheating on you with a girl from my bar. And it disgusts me that he would do this to you. I'm disgusted with my brother. After saying he would leave it alone and wouldn't say anything, as soon as he saw her, grabs her by her hand, took a look at her, saw how sad she was looking, and decided to tell the wife about his brother. Because he said, you're my sister, that's my brother. And if this was if you were my blood sister and this happened, and with my brother, I would tell my sister. And that's what I decided. You are my sister, so I'm going to tell you. And then y'all can resolve this how y'all want. But you had a right to know. So she thanked him. She hugged him. She kissed him on the cheek, told him how much she loved him and that the kids love him so much. And she said, I knew he was cheating. I just didn't know with who. Thank you for letting me know, because I found out just a week ago when I go to my doctor and I get an STD. And she's crying because she didn't tell anybody about it. That her husband had contracted herpes and gave herpes to her. And the husband, who was the mayor of the town, made her feel guilty that she picked it up somewhere and she probably got it off a seat at her office where she worked and transmitted it to somebody else and gave it to him. Now he's like, I should be mad at you. So now, Mayor Herb. Now that the mayor and everybody gets to see what's going on here, is completely over everything. And you see it all play out the way it did. The brother went over, of course, to fight his younger brother. He's the mayor of the town, but they had a family to run, so the mayor can't be seen in a fist fight. So he doesn't speak to the younger brother. He hates him. The wife eventually divorces him. After staying with him for like 6 months after that, she's like, you probably should move out. The wife is done with him. Meanwhile, this chick that he was running around with, well, didn't seem to matter because he would pop up in different places, go get a drink, go get a girl, and go upstairs and talking about he could help people out with their problems. Mostly by him being the mayor, he had influence on the courts. A lot of these chicks had problems with court from traffic tickets, back rent they owed. He was leaning on people for the chicks, and then for these favors, they were repaying him back with sex and drugs, allegedly. So now, said mayor, who's put this whole town in a frenzy, is mad at his brother. And the father is mad at the brother. The father found out what happened, and he got mad at the younger brother for telling the wife, stay out of this man's business. You don't get in there. So the father's mad at it for getting involved and causing this rift. They're divorced because of you. You know, so he was like, how would somebody come in there? You like somebody come in there and mess up your family? And that's what they did. The father made the son work so much. He was like, I'm going to put him to work. Because it's a family-ran business. He basically made the son work 60 hours a week, cutting in on weekends, and saying, no, you're working here or you're fired. You take a day off, you're fired. You're working this. I will cut you out of the family business and you can go work somewhere else. So naturally, he doesn't know what he's doing. Right? He doesn't. He doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't know where everyone is supposed to be. He don't know what's happening. So the father worked him so much that his own wife is like, you're never here. I want to do this. I want to take a vacation and I can't because you're addicted to this place. Just quit. Your father wants to drive you out. So just be out. Just quit. And she's like, this is part, not just my dad, it's my mom's legacy too. And my mom's not here anymore, so it's up to me, you know, to hold down this whole fort. It's all on me. So right away, again, no, it's not all on you. It's on me too. I'm a part of this family. So I'm not going to go for this. Once again, everything changes. And the wife ups and leaves and serves him with divorce papers. Now it's all broken up. It's all broken up. And he's still working for the family business. So now the younger brother's depressed. He's going through it. He's drinking a lot. He's just working constantly. The father, 4 years, still has him working 60, 70 hours on the job. Then all of a sudden, what happens? Mayor of the town comes in. He's still mayor, running for another election. Wants his younger brother to start helping him with the campaign. And he says, well, I got to work. I can't really do that. He's like, nope. Talk to dad. He's giving you 3 days off. He's bringing in some help. So he comes in, he's working them out, he's working on the town and everything else. And the kids are coming over. The kids want to see their uncle. So he brings the kids. The kids love him. So they come up there and see him. And it was wild because he hadn't seen his kids in a while, his brother's kids. So they love their uncle. So it seemed like the bigger brother forgave him. And he threw out an olive branch. So he helps his brother with the re-election. And the brother's like, yeah, I heard about your wife. Sorry about that. And, I didn't want to tell you this about your wife like you went and told on my wife. I'm not mad at you about that. But I'm going to say right now, your wife was screwing around on you, bud. I just didn't want to tell you. She was out getting her action on in the clubs. My wife was with her and told her, she's like, she saw it, but we decided to spare you. Telling you that, man. But your girl was getting down. And you were holding her back. And finally, she's just like, why am I staying married to somebody who's not here? So I just wanted to let you know that's what was going on. But I wasn't going to do what you did to you. So I didn't say anything. Now, the younger brother's irritated, like, wow, I feel low down. My brother decided to spare me that pain and let me continuously go through it. And he's like, I wish you would have told me that. So now he's upset. So now he wants to confront his ex-wife, who he's still friends with after the divorce. And was like, if you were cheating on me, he's like, I would understand. I was working so many hours, but I felt, she's like, I never cheated on you. Who said that? He's like, my brother just came in here. He said his wife saw you in a place like that. That never happened. So she calls because she's still best friends with the ex-wife of the older brother, who's the mayor of the town. So she calls her. She says, I've never been in a club and saw you because I don't even go to a club. Why would I be in a club or a dinner place or anything? Never saw you with anyone. He's like, ever. I know he's lying. So now he realized that the brother was just lying, just to throw salt in his wound about the divorce. So now he's mad. And then the brother wins the re-election again. He's back mayor again. So now he doesn't need his younger brother again, and he goes right back to not speaking to him immediately. It was all just for the political run. He could care less. So he realizes that being married was not working out for him. So he's miserable. He felt like, I've been used by my father and brother. No one cares about me. The only person that loved me was my mother. My other two brothers can care less about the family business or anything. They're in another state. They're just doing their thing. So what he decides to do is end it all. He says, I don't have any kids. I don't have nothing going on. My ex-wife, I don't know. Life is just killing me. I might as well take myself out. So he goes to prepare to take himself out. And he's writing a letter that he's going to leave his father, his brother, and the rest of the family members, to his sisters. And while he's writing the note, he kept getting phone calls. He got one phone call from his niece. She wanted him to help her on some project or whatever because he knew how to do it. And it was something that his mom had taught him. And he was like, oh, I can do that. I do know that. Yeah, I'll help you this weekend. She was like, okay, great, because I got a paper, to do on such and such a day. So he stops writing the suicide letter and said, I'll do it next week. But I want to do this first with her and help her. So he goes ahead, does this project, whatever it was. I don't know, croquet or whatever. I don't know. But he does that. The girl is so happy. He puts off the suicide for another week. Said, I'll wait for a while because if I do it now, then it'll probably devastate my niece. So right when he's feeling back low again, starts back drinking. Next thing you know, phone rings again. Who is it this time? Oh, it's the nephew. The nephew's in trouble. He needs you to come pick him up. The car won't start. He goes over there and he's like, I can't find my dad. Don't know where my dad is. And his dad finally gets him on the phone and says, look, call your uncle. He knows the body shop guy. He's right there. He can come help you out. So he calls the buddy and they get in his truck. They come over, they tow the car, finds out everything's going on. So every time he thought about taking himself out, the 2 times, he was sent 2 signs that he thought he should live. So he figures, I'm going to get back in the dating scene. So he's working at the bar. He's serving people at the restaurant. He's also cooking the food now. And the pandemic hits. So everything's shut down. So now the pandemic hits. He's at home. This is a man that spends 60 hours a week working. Now he's at home all day, realizing he's never really been at home and the house is empty. He's now miserable. So the younger brother now rolls out, starts going outside, and people are all blocked in. So now he's online, on social media, trying to communicate with people because he's used to talking with people. Being in this empty house is driving him insane. So he got on something called a Zoom chat with a lot of different people from a dating app. And they're just doing virtual dating. Then he finds out from one girl said, the whole time that you were talking to me, it seems like I don't think you're comfortable like being in a relationship with women. And she's like, don't get offended. And he was like, well, who would I be in a relationship with? She was like, I think you might secretly be attracted to men. And he's like, clicked her off, stormed out. Next thing you know, he talks to his wife, his ex-wife, and told her, like, can you believe what she just said to me? And she's like, I always thought that, even through our marriage. I'm like, I think he really doesn't you seem more, don't get offended, you're more like a female. And the guy was completely shocked. He fell on the ground and cried and said, I don't want to be gay. And he starts crying. And now that guy's getting filled out like an application by every gay dude up in the neighborhood where he lives. The younger brother. He's got a screwed up life now. He's getting filled out like an application. Now, would have all this happened had he just kept his mouth shut? If he just kept his mouth shut, I don't think this whole situation would even happen. Yeah, this is all facts. This is all facts. 100% factual to the letter. And to this day, that dude is still in denial about being gay. People's like, they saw you walk out of the gay bar. They saw you grabbing another guy, holding him, going to your car. What the hell else would you be doing at that time of night? That doesn't mean anything. That's my friend. We were just talking in the car for 4 hours. Yeah. So the dude wife knew it the whole time they was married. She always felt like he was like that. Two like things men wouldn't be concerned with, they was concerned with for no reason. Mm-hmm. So absolutely, man. Just yeah. So, I felt he should have probably absolutely. It's a sad situation for him. Yeah, he fell right on the floor. It was crazy as hell. Yeah, he started like going off, crying and everything about it. But yeah, he does act pretty feminine about things that you wouldn't think even mattered. Hmm. Well, it's not to make fun of him. I mean, if he found himself, he found himself. But no, it's not Chicago. No, it wasn't. It's like one of the mayors of one of these towns out here. So 100% truth. Um, Sad but true. Yeah, we'll see you later. Deuce.